you heard me complaining last week about Disney trying to ruin Prince Charming. They're currently developing this movie at Disney, and they're in talks with Chris Hemsworth about playing Prince Charming in the movie. Now, immediately people were saying Chris Hemsworth is just too old for this role. It doesn't make sense. But a lot of people were saying that's actually ageism. And now male actors in Hollywood, not just the actresses, are being targeted with ageism. But he's 41.
So this is like an Uno reverse card they're playing.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Chris Hemsworth is 41. I don't think it makes any sense for Prince Charming to even be above the age of 30 in this movie.
We're coming up to a time period where eventually they're just going to hire the actors they want and de-age them.
Right, but that just looks creepy, and also...
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Give the opportunity to a younger actor if there is an option,
they're
right?
They're going to cast Chris Hemsworth and Margot Robbie and then just de-age both of them?
Yeah, like, I guess no one's ever going to get a job again, if that's the precedent that we're setting.
Yeah.
But one person said, nothing against Chris Hemsworth, but you know Disney would never cast a 41-year-old woman to play a Disney princess, which is true.
Gal Gadot is about to be the youngest. I mean, how old is the evil stepmother? She's 30.
She's not playing a Disney princess.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just thinking corollary here. They brought Brandy back for The Descendants, I think, and Brandy's in her 40s or late 30s or something like that.
It
doesn't really count.
It doesn't work either way you put it. It doesn't matter if it's the prince or if it's the princess. All of the tales are based on girls in their teens, and then maybe you can get away with casting women in their 20s, but cast guys in their 20s too.
Yep.
That's the only thing that makes sense. Richard Madden played Prince Charming in the live-action Cinderella with Lily James, which I really liked, in 2015 before everything went bizarro world. And he was, I think, 27 when they were filming it. Still a little on the older side, but 41, really?
Yeah.
Like, is this how desperate Hollywood has gotten because there are no young actors with the look?
Well, I mean, I don't know if they're looking for star power here.
Star power, but he also needs to be traditionally handsome. And unfortunately, that's just not fashionable right now.
Remember, people were very, very hesitant to buy Ryan Gosling as Ken because he was too old for the role, but he ended up being the part of that movie that people liked the most.
But it's because Ryan Gosling is Ryan Gosling, and if it had been anyone else, it would have been a problem.
Yeah.
He was too old for that role. That's true. But he pulled it off, which is impressive.
Doesn't matter, right? So I guess what you're saying is, like, it can be done, but you're working against yourself to do that. You're just making it harder than it has to be.
Yeah, and I still don't even know what the concept for this movie is. My concept of putting Prince Charming into the modern day dating world is way better than whatever Disney is going to come up with.
Imagine Prince Charming trying to use Tinder.
I want to see it. Brittany Martinez also had a take on this. She said, I know girls like Chris Hemsworth, and usually older plays younger in Hollywood, but if Prince Charming is supposed to be around 21, Chris is way too old. They should go for 18 to 23 for Cinderella, and Prince Charming maybe 25 or 26 max. Chris is more fit to play a king role. And she posted Cole Sprouse in the replies as a possibility, which did come to mind for me as well.
It is actually true that older plays younger. So on the recommendation of crisis actors, I started watching Roswell last night.
We were talking about this yesterday.
A lot of fun. I'm enjoying it so far. But one of the things that I find really funny is in like the second episode, they introduce Julie Benz as Mrs. Toplowski. She's like the guidance counselor. And she is exactly 1 year younger than the guy who plays Max, the teenage boy.
Yeah, that's just the norm.
And the funny thing is both her and William Sadler, who's literally been in everything. He plays the sheriff, Sheriff Valenti in that show, pretty much looks the same now. And so does she. And I just thought it was funny. I'm like, I was watching it and I'm like, wow, Julie Benz all the way back in 1999. And then I'm like, oh yeah, she was in Angel and Buffy like before that even. So,
but nothing has really changed because you're expected to buy that Jacob Elordi in Euphoria is 17 years old.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, a lot of. Do you think that has some type of weird effect on the population? Because it never struck to me that they were older. Like when I was in high school, so Not Another Teen Movie came out when I was, if it came out in 2001, which I think was the year it came out, means that I would have been in starting high school at around that time because I graduated in 2005. Like, I didn't really think about it. Chris Evans is older than me, but, you know, and he looked older than I did at that time, but it didn't really strike me as, like, they looked that much older than everyone. But maybe it's just that people back then weren't looking at themselves as much because of phones.
I mean, I definitely watched shows about high schoolers and thought, yeah, this does not look like anyone I know.
Now, when I go back and look at it, everyone looks way too old.
But I definitely noticed it. The only exception to that being Disney shows where they actually cast children.
When
comes with a whole slew of other ethical concerns.
Exactly. Well, that's the whole point, right? And then when we were watching the OC, and I'm like, just grouchy Benjamin McKenzie is there, and I'm like, he looks like he's 25. Like, he looks like a skinny 25, but he looks like he's 25 playing a moody teenager.
Pointing out is that all of the Gen Z and younger millennial actors now, and actresses, don't have a traditionally handsome or traditionally beautiful look.
Yeah.
You're expected to find someone unique looking now. So every Gen Z male actor looks like Finn Wolfhard, and it's just, that's not Prince Charming.
It's funny because that was one that always worked better for like a certain type of like hollow. Like Rami Malek has that face. So does the Skarsgårds. They have unique facial structures that don't necessarily scream traditional Hollywood A-list actor. But now it does feel like all of them look that way. But then you go back and you look at shows from old, and even so in the show, I forget the name of her best friend, who would totally be gay if they were making the show. Now, maybe she is in the show down the line, but she's got the short haircut and everything like that. And even back then, the traditional, the characters that weren't necessarily supposed to look traditionally beautiful or handsome still did. They still had that look. They just were shown to look a certain way on screen.
They were just styled
makeup.
a certain way to make them look plain.
They're like, make her look like it's that's the whole thing from Not Another Teen Movie. It's Janie they just take the ponytail out and take the glasses off.
Now they just legitimately hire ugly actors at this point.
I also saw, guys, they're making a Cruel Intentions TV show on Amazon Prime. I refuse to watch the trailer. I refuse to have anything to do with it. The 1999 Cruel Intentions with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan Phillippe and Reese Witherspoon is a masterpiece, and everyone should go watch it if you like the idea of, Hollywood degeneracy before the modern day version of Hollywood degeneracy. I love that film, and I don't want to see a television version of it. I really don't.
I know it's been said, but they really are running out of ideas. Like, it's getting desperate. It's getting embarrassing.
I wonder if they're going to do in that movie, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character has like she carries around a cross that has like a cocaine a spoon in it. And I'm just like, I'm not going to lie. At one point I went on Amazon and I'm like, does that really exist?
Just for, keepsake.
I'm just curious.
Also relevant to the subject of aging in Hollywood and ageism is Liam Neeson's retirement from action movies.
Yep.
He feels it's inappropriate at the age of 72 to star in action films anymore. And he said it has to stop at some stage. He's accepted his fate.
The problem here... we
have a 20 from Dr. Larsena. There was an ancient MMA sport that was hugely popular in Jesus' day called... what is this? Pancration?
Yep.
It was an ancient Olympic event. Question is whether a good Jewish boy would be involved in something so Greek/Gentile.
Maybe they should have had you for consulting on the movie.
Me?
No, Dr. Larsena.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is, but I guess that means it's historically accurate.
And here's the thing, guys. Back to Liam Neeson now. There's an honest trailer from the third Taken, like the Taken Taken 3, where there's 12 camera cuts just to show Liam Neeson hopping over a fence that's like this high.
He was already getting up there.
He was already old when these movies started getting made. They make the joke in those honest trailers, like these are the movies that finally paid for Liam Neeson's kids' college fund. Like, he was old when these got made, and they were great, and they were fantastic.
And Harrison Ford, though, in Dial of Destiny was just laughable. Like, what are you doing, man? Harrison Ford's
Dial
face
of Destiny was bad.
With de-aging technology was disturbing as well. But Liam Neeson has also given up on love at his age.
Before we do that, I just think if they want to make one final Taken movie where somebody gets abducted from a nursing home and he has to bring them back to the nursing home and he just decides to stay, perfect.
That's the perfect ending.
That's the perfect ending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Liam Neeson also said that at 72, he's given up on dating. He said, in a word, I'm past all that.
That's just sad.
Because you said that his wife died.
Yeah, it looks like she died in 2009.
It's sweet, though.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Al Pacino just had a kid, and he's like a gazillion years old, too, so don't give up. Man.
I mean, don't have a kid, but you could think about...
Yeah, I'm not saying have a kid. I'm saying don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up on love. Who is it that has just got together? Meryl Streep and
Martin Short.
Martin Short are together now, and they're going on cute little dates.
Yeah,
you love to see it. Don't give up on love.
See, how is it that those stories can exist, but they can't make good romantic comedies?
Seriously,
come on.
I guess have them star in it.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Like now they're like, fine, you can have the romantic comedies. No hot young people.
Yeah,
old people.
Kind of the rule now.
You know what it is, Mary? It's romantic comedies for the modern audiences.
Well, what was that one starring, I think it was Julia Roberts? There was a semi-recent rom-com about divorcees who get back together because they're trying to help their daughter.
Yeah.
Which is very modern.
Yeah.
It's sweet idea, but very modern.
Well, I mean, that's like, there was a time though when like the idea of the romantic comedy, a lot of it becomes about blended families and stuff like that as America changed, as demographics
The Parent
changed.
Trap.
Yeah, like as the country changed, as social belief systems changed, the movies had to kind of grow and adapt with it. So that's what it is now.
So for now, the best you've got is Anyone But You.
Pretty much. That's about it.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.